Hey guys, what is up and welcome to my channel. It's a Hardback Life. My name is Jordan, and today we are here because I decided to create my own book tag. And that is called the Favorite Book of the Year book tag. Now, I went all over YouTube and I tried to see if I was copying anybody so that I wouldn't be doing that. And, obviously if I did, I would change up everything I was doing. And as luck would have it, no one's done this yet. So, yay for me. And I created this book tag because I just thought to myself, all of us here on BookTube, we've all read a lot of books. But, I just kind of wanted to, do it to share some of my favorite books from different genres. And then also, I want to hear your guys' answers as well. So, yeah. But before we get into that, I want to share what I'm reading, like I always do. And I'm currently reading What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This is a collaborative writing about two young teenage boys who have a meet cute moment at a post office in New York. And after that, basically the whole book, at least from what I'm reading so far, after that one moment, they try to reconnect with each other, find each other, and then hopefully build something from that. And so far, it's a really good book. It's very... the characters are so funny, and then, there's a lot of pop culture references. So if you're a fan of a lot of pop culture being mentioned in books, then this is your type of book. And it's, like I said, it's funny and has some very cute moments, and of course it's LGBTQ plus representation, so yep, here for that. And also, I just wanted to share with you Rhythm of War. I just got this the other day, or when it came out on Tuesday, which was the other day. And I cannot wait to read it, but I gotta finish Way of Kings and the other two before that. So, yeah, I can't wait to get to this book as well. Alright, without further ado, you guys, I have a set of 8 questions here. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, question number 1. What was your favorite book of the year that you've read? Now, obviously, it doesn't have to be a 2020 release. It can be something that you're reading for the first time that came out years ago. And that's what I chose. My favorite book that I read in 2020 was Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I loved this book. And I'm definitely going to reread it again in 2021. Because it was so fantastic. This was a, combination of sci-fi and thriller. And I've never read a book with that kind of combination before. I like both genres, especially thriller. So the fact that the author was able to combine them, and he's obviously known for that. This is his wheelhouse, sci-fi thriller combined. This book is about a guy named Jason who basically he's living his normal life with his wife and his son. He's a teacher at a college. And one day he gets kidnapped and held at gunpoint. And next thing he knows, he's after all that craziness, he wakes up and he's in a place that he can no longer recognize. Reality just basically flipped on him. And he basically has to figure out why he's there, what's happening, and how he's going to get back to his reality. And yeah, this is a book that deals with multiverse traveling and all that stuff. So yeah, so good. It's so thrilling, and I gave this book 5 stars. love this book. I definitely recommend this book, and I definitely recommend this author. Yes. So, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. All right. Question number 2. Favorite book or series that has a hard-hitting topic or topics, that were in the book and highly discussed. I have 2 for this one because I couldn't decide. I chose The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett and This Is Where It Ends by Marika Niekamp. I think it's how you say her name. Both are completely different subjects, but both are equally as powerful as the other. The Vanishing Half is about twin sisters who are living in a small town in Louisiana, and they run away when they're 16 to live, I guess, essentially a better life. But they eventually take different paths. One goes off and lives her life passing as a white person, and the other sister, goes back to her hometown and lives the rest of her life in her hometown. And this book spans different generations, so it focuses on not just them, it's their mom, their daughters, and just their whole situation that they're going through. And yeah, it's a great book. There's also LGBTQ plus representation in this book, and it's fantastic. I love this book. Gave it 5 stars. One of my favorite books of the year. And then this one, I almost said The Vanishing Half again. This Is Where It Ends is about a school shooting that takes place within 54 minutes. Such a powerful book. All the characters were believable, and yeah, it was so hard to read, though. I will warn you, trigger warning, there's a lot of graphic violence, because obviously it's a school shooting, but it's also a very important topic, because, we've had so many school shootings in America, so many shootings in general in our country, and it's just something that needs to be addressed, and I'm glad this author addressed it. So, I cried reading this book. That's how much, that's how powerful it is. Question is, favorite book or series you reread? And favorite book or series that I reread was Artemis Fowl. I actually read this starting as a kid. I loved it. This is about a 12-year-old boy who is not only a genius, but a criminal mastermind. So, basically his father goes missing, and he basically becomes the head of the business. And yeah, he gets into some crazy mischief, especially involving magic, where he discovers the world of fairies. He kidnaps a fairy, and then her fairy friends come and try to rescue her, and it's a showdown throughout the first book, and it's amazing. And there's 8 books in the series. Such a fantastic ride. I finally finished it for the first time all the way through. I definitely recommend this. There's also a movie that came out this year, but the movie was trash. I'll just tell you that straight up. It was released by Disney Plus. Don't watch it. That's just what I'm going to say about that. But Artemis Fowl, This is, in my opinion, in league of Harry Potter. That's how great it is. All right, the next question is favorite fantasy book, YA or adult? And I'm going to have to go with my favorite author, favorite fantasy young adult author, Cassandra Clare. I loved this book. This is Chain of Gold, the first in the planned trilogy called The Last Hours, which is the sequel series to The Infernal Devices. And this is basically tells, like, the main characters are the kids to the main characters in The Infernal Devices. And I'm not going to say much more, but because I feel like I would end up spoiling Infernal Devices for you, and I don't want to do that for you. This is set in the Shadowhunter Chronicles whole big series thing, so I would definitely recommend reading those, especially checking out Cassandra Clare. So yeah, gave this book 5 stars as well. All right, question number 5. Favorite book from a genre you don't normally read from? And that for me was Pet Sematary by Stephen King. Now, I have not finished it, but I'm like 110 pages, no, 130 pages into this book, and I'm loving it. I didn't think that I would love a horror book, but it is so crazy. Like, it's fun and it's interesting. Of course, it's scary, but I mean, I'm actually really enjoying myself reading this book. So can't wait to read more of Stephen King. Least favorite book that you read in 2020. And yes, I had to include this because we've all had that book or multiple books that we absolutely were disappointed by or just didn't like at all. It happens. I try not to let that happen to me, but it happened this year at least once. And that book that I didn't like was none other than Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I don't have that book because as soon as I finished it, I gave it away because I hated it. That's how much I hated it. I gave it 2 stars. I mean, don't get me wrong, the concept was great, and then the ending was good, but the pacing was horrible, and then, like, the back and forth between, like, we went from species... The Children of Time is basically, we have 2 different species, human beings, of course, and then, like, we have these ants who had these, no, not ants, spiders that, like, became ate some radioactive stuff and therefore became more like humans in a way. And humans were basically trying to, like, find another planet to live on. Well, at least the surviving humans. They were trying to find a planet to live on. And they were met with these gigantic spiders. And it was not fun time for them. But yeah. It's about terraforming. I'm sorry. I don't know why I forgot that. Maybe because I didn't like the book that much. But yeah, it's about terraforming and all that jazz. I gave it, like I said, I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars because the pacing was horrible. There was no character development, at least whatsoever, really. Like I said, the concept was great, but the execution was horrible. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because the more I'm going to talk about it, the more annoyed I will be. But yeah, so that was Children of Time, and I will put it up for those of you who don't know. Okay, so question number 7. Book in 2020 that you haven't read yet that you know you will love. So like a book that you still want to read in 2020 that you know you're already going to love. Whether it's in a series or a standalone. And I chose Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. And I really want to read this book before the end of 2020 because this came out this year and this was a highly anticipated book. Yeah. And if you didn't know, this is about a girl named Amira Tucker who is the nanny to, she's a POC by the way, person of color, black person. And she is the nanny to a white family, and she takes the little girl shopping because her mom requested that. And when Amira's there with the little girl, she gets approached by the security guard, I think, at the grocery store, and the security guard accuses her of kidnapping the child. And it goes way off from there. So I cannot wait to read this. It just sounded fantastic, and I even watched an interview with the author and a whole thing where she's in front of an audience and she's reading a passage from the book. So I cannot wait to finish this. I've already started it, and yeah, super excited to read this. And last question. New release in 2021 that you are positive will be a favorite. And I'm going to post it up here because obviously it's a new release that's coming out next year that I don't have. But Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare, which is the second book in the Last Hours trilogy. I know I'm going to love that because I pretty much love everything she does. So, and plus it's set in the 19th century, so yeah, I know I'm gonna love it. So, yeah, or is it 19th or 20th century? It's 19th. Yeah. Anyway, that was the favorite book of the year book tag. If you're gonna do this, please tag me. I would love to see your guys's answers. And also, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Anyway, you guys, can't wait to hear your responses. Also, leave some comments down below with your favorite books. Anyway, guys, see you later. Bye.